I think that this is what's happening here. And that what we understand is that if in fact there's another civilization in our own galaxy that may be literally billions of years more advanced than we are, and Teilhard de Chardin is correct that there is some teleological unfolding and of a progressive ascendance in consciousness in sentient beings, that this species may well have been having millions of years more advanced evolution in their consciousness. And this is the secret for our communion. This is the basis of our commonality with the extraterrestrial civilization, that we too are gifted with this particular faculty, this experiential encounter with the unitive phenomenon of the entire universe. It enables us to remote view. It enables us to have telepathic communication. It enables people to engage in astral travel. These are the siddha of the great religious traditions of our human family. These are secrets that have been known for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years, on the part of the evolved species of our human family. And that this is what we're here talking about here at the New Living Expo this weekend. At one form or another, this is what we're talking about. Because our human family has in secret conclave come to codify these secrets that they talk about. Your diet, you're not overstimulating your body so that you overwhelm the subtle evolution of this kind of tactile experience of being able to experience the unitive phenomenon in the universe. That you meditate, that you get to a point of calming the entire energy system of your body, and going through the chakras and balancing the chakra energy in your body, etc. These are all secrets that our human family has been codifying and gathering for thousands of years. And that they're now becoming available to us. They're available to us. You could go to a conscious bookstore, and take it off the shelf and sit down and read it. But only a small percentage of our human family does this. And therefore, those of us who have done this have a certain responsibility for sharing this in some effective way with our sisters and brothers, to try to lift up and help to accelerate the evolution of this particular faculty in our human family, so that we can prepare ourselves for an actual encounter with these beings. Because people say, well, why in the world don't they just come in and tell us the answers to these problems? Why don't they give us some new alternative energy source to petroleum? Why don't they give us 0-point energy? Why don't they cure cancer? Why don't they? And I'll tell you what my response was when I got put this question by Lue Elizondo, for a little inside baseball here. We're sitting in Washington, D.C. We just came out of a meeting with the Inspector General of the United States Defense Department. We're sitting with some of the staff people that have been working on this for years. And they put this question: Why do you think? They're asking me, right? Why do you think that they aren't contacting us and giving us help and helping us solve these problems? And I said, you got to remember that there's a story about this young boy, a little boy who loved butterflies, and he collected butterflies, and he had this big aviary place out in his backyard where they could all flutter around in this great big gossamer cage where they could fly around in their natural habitat. And he wanted to find an example of a monarch butterfly. He looked around, he finally found a little cocoon of a monarch butterfly, and he brought it home and he put it in a little box with cotton batting in there, and he put little lights on it to keep it warm, and he monitored this thing and cuddled it, and it finally, after a period of time, started to go to the point where it was evolving and breaking out of the cocoon. And the butterfly started breaking out of the cocoon and was struggling like mad, and he was watching it, and it struggled and broke out of the cocoon, and it was finally struggling against one last silken thread. It was struggling and struggling and struggling, and the little boy felt so bad about this butterfly having this terrible struggle that he went and got a little pair of scissors and he just clipped that last silken thread, and the butterfly came free. And it was an absolutely perfect specimen of a monarch butterfly, except that it could never fly, because that was necessary. It was necessary for it to struggle against that last silken thread in order to develop the muscle structure that was essential for it to fly. And I told that story to these men. They just were flabbergasted, actually, because they'd never thought about that. That in fact, we have the obligation to struggle against the silken threads that we have in fact woven around our culture and around ourselves, to be able to finally be able to fly, to be able to have an exercise and an experience of this faculty, this subtle, evolving faculty that will give us access to the union of our entire universe. So that if in fact Crane Brinton was correct at Harvard in 1968, and in fact this is a faculty by means of the experience of which we can actually immediately and experientially discern what human conduct, individually and collectively, is actually either harmonious with or disharmonious to the natural order of our universe. That's the secret.